What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I'm trying to set this thing up right. Hold on, let me get the comment box up. Oh man. Can y'all hear me? Am I clear? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? All right, what's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me? I couldn't hear myself. Hold on. Type 1 if you can hear. Last night we was up till 2 in the morning playing on the playing on a live stream with people till 2 o'clock in the morning, like we had nothing else to do. Let me see something. That's probably why I couldn't hear nothing. Hold on. That joker. I gotta figure out what makes it does that. Okay. Can y'all hear that? Do you see the other phone? Hey, can you hear that music too, Vicky? Can you hear that music? Hold up. I need to find the other phone. Where the other phone go? Oh, it's up there. We about to get started. Let me get these people that supposed to be on the panel. Hold up. You don't hear that? Okay. I'm at to work on that later, another day. Just a little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's the app that you pay for music to play, but for some reason I gotta figure out why is it coming through the headphones. And when I unplug the headphones, it still come through. All right, am I clear? Where is this? So hold on, let me invite. Dang it. Hold on. Invite. Copy. Private chat. How you do that? Hold on. I want to click here. Nope. I don't know how to do that. That went to nobody. All right. Hey, Vicky, click on that button right there. Then I got to get this video up.
What happened?
Nothing. I'm going to pause this. So that'll be ready. That's pause. That's going to be sitting right here. There's a lot of clicking, y'all. All right. Well, uh-oh. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you now. You hear us?
Okay. A little pain.
I'm gonna play a video, but I'm waiting. Lisa gonna come up first. I got a video I'm gonna play first, and then
Okay.
we're gonna talk about the reality of domestic violence. Sheesh, how everybody doing today? We having a good day today. We actually gotta go to a 50th birthday party this evening, and let's joke in my face. Hold on, that joke in my face. You know what? I'm not gonna trip. So you don't want to use these. No, sir.
That's it. Should be down there somewhere. See?
I'm sorry. That's why I always say, ma'am.
Huh?
So I say no sound.
Right there.
Hey, y'all.
Hola.
Hola, chica.
Wait a minute, because I wanted to come out of speaker. Say something, Vicky.
Can you hear me now?
See, it's not coming out of speaker. Hold on. Testing 1, 2, 2, 2. Speaker test. That's what it was. Say something, Vicky.
Can you hear me?
All right, that's what it was. That's why it was on the Yeti mic thing. All right. What's up? Leilani, do you want to come on the panel about this conversation? Let me I did. But
Yeah.
Oh, everything is in the thing.
mhm.
Oh. You got to push me down here. Had to get scooched in. You know this carpet don't act right. Where am I at? Oh, there you go. Oh, here it look different.
What you mean?
Look at that.
That's what I'm
All right. Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Why you sideways?
Trying to rest and not be in so much pain.
Oh, that's right, baby. How you feeling?
Turn your camera. Turn your
Turn
face.
it. What do you mean?
Turn it. Yeah, there you go. Leave it like that.
We was
Oh
like,
shit.
we was like this.
I know you're on drugs, but damn.
Yeah, I just took one.
Hold on, y'all. There it is. That was just blowing me because I got a little. Hey, y'all.
Let me see. Is this better?
Yeah, you good, man. Oh,
Okay.
shit, work. Man, I ain't work.
Okay.
You
Hey,
know.
I ain't making that money after last night.
Where people down here? I cannot see.
I'm about to share the room. Y'all share the live stream, please. On all your social media, hit the like button.
Y'all know I ain't gonna be able to see from that. Cause I got some spray on the glasses. Oh, hi guys, we're back. It's been a long about a month, about a couple months. It's been a long month, so I can't.
It's been that long?
Well, you know, week before last we got married, and last week we went to Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
we was doing a lot of stuff before that, so it wasn't a whole lot of lives going on.
Okay.
I'm not lips so shiny. Yeah, man.
Your lip shiny?
It was. Hey y'all. Hey everybody in the stream. I don't know where the camera is on here. It's here. There it is. There you go. I had found it. So today's topic is a little more serious than normal, but it affects more people than we know. There's a lot of people not going to tell you about it. They fell. They hit their head on a door. Closed their hand in a drawer. They forgot their keys. That's why they late for work. They tell you a lot of stuff, but they don't tell you why they late. You know, so it affects a lot of people. Jay Dunn. Do I have to click her?
Yeah, she just click the thing. Just click the thing on the.
This one?
No. Go her face, and then the thing on the. Then click that, and then she go.
Hey y'all. Hey.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Jay, that's my first black friend in Virginia.
Okay.
Hi.
Gotta stop
There you go.
It is what it is.
So I'm black. So DC, I'm black today.
Oh, only today.
Okay.
She's always black.
They called me she
Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get Dominican, Puerto Rican.
I just get, what are you?
Are you from America?
I'm a bitch that'll cut you out. That's what I am. How about that? What are you? What are you mixed with? Sorry. That's what the hell I'm
Is that your hair? Yes.
I know
Are
your
you dead?
eyes. What's that from? My mama. They don't want them because they don't work. They just I don't even know what color they are. They kind of green today. I don't know what color they are.
Like button, please.
Human. There you go. Hi, Dave.
What's up, David? David.
Hello. Thank you for joining us for Real Talk Day. Every Saturday we do a topic. Most of the time it's fun, but it's serious. But this is a little more serious. Seriously serious. Do that. Y'all know I'm liable to click some shit.
Oh yeah.
Move that out of the way.
What's up, surprise around the corner?
Hey y'all. I can't see nothing because my glasses are messed up.
I got you. You go ahead.
How many people in the chat?
We got 12. It always start off low and then it start climbing up once you get going.
So before Mama 3 passes out.
She was in a car accident.
She was in a car accident, so she's
So I'm heavily medicated right now.
Before she passes out, she is the catalyst behind this particular topic. Not her specifically, but her daughter specifically is going through a situation with a young man that she was dating, and it's escalated to courts and restraining orders, and the guy sending pictures of where she is, and threatening, if I can't have you, nobody can, and
showing up at her job.
I mean,
he's ignoring the order of protection. He violated 3 times. He went to court. He went to jail for 30 days. So when we went to court, when she found out that he was being released, she was shaking. I said, Asia, what did he do to you? She was like, Mommy, it doesn't matter. I don't know. She doesn't want to share with me what he's done to her, for her to be so scared of him. So it's hard for me to deal with it because I'm her mom, and I feel like I need to protect her. And sometimes I'm lost because I don't know what to do. He's out of jail again, and as soon as he gets out, he texts her. As soon as he got out, he was texting her from a number that's not hers anymore, but her friend has it. So it's like lesson wasn't learned.
Well, no, it wouldn't be learned. The reality is that if they are doing something, he knows he's doing something illegal and he still does it. We assume that because we put somebody in jail, put a restraining order on somebody, take them through the system, that they're going to learn their lesson. They knew what they were doing when they were wrong in the beginning. It was. It's so. Asia's gonna have to talk to somebody. If she can't tell you what he's doing or has done to her, she's gonna have to talk to somebody, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about this little boy. Asia has to be able to survive after this. She has to be able to have healthy relationships after him. She has to be able to be okay with herself after him. And until she talks about it, it's going to eat her up in a way that nobody can help. Because
It's not to really pry so much, but are they like, is this a teenage situation we're talking about, or are they like
no, he's 24, 25.
I think
Okay.
Asia just turned what, 20, 21?
Asia's 20. My daughter's 23.
Okay.
Dude,
Okay. I was just trying to figure out.
Huh?
I said I was just trying to figure out the mentality, the mindset of the people that we're discussing. That's why I asked about the age range.
They're young, but they're not teenagers.
Right. Okay. Okay.
They're young, but they're not teenagers. Now, again, I still say that even in your early 20s, you are still learning. And while you're not a teenager or a child, you still don't have the experience. A lot of people do not have the experience and the maturity for a relationship, because you have to balance the love with reality. And that's why I said the reality of domestic violence, because we can see bruises, we can read restraining orders, but you can't see the things that these bruises leave behind that have no physical outward appearances. You can't see the things that domestic violence does to you mentally. Forget physically. We know you can be hurt physically. Violence is what it is. But it's the stuff that's left behind. It's not being able to have a healthy relationship with anybody. That includes friends. Because a lot of times people in domestic violence situations lie to everybody. They don't just lie to themselves, they lie to everybody. Their friends, their family, because they don't want anyone to know that they have allowed this to go on. So they lie about that. They have to lie to their job, why they can't come to work. They have to lie to their job, why they can't come to work. Why is this bruise? What happened? Why they jump when they hear a sound? Why is this person calling your job? They have to deal with these situations. And a lot of times young people are not equipped. It's not has anything to do with your age. It's just experience and life experience and maturity is what equips you for these situations. Because the longer you live, the more you know there is a tomorrow. Just get through the day. Today may be bad, but tomorrow is a whole new day. When you're young, everything is so strong and so and there's no tomorrow. You got to do everything right now. I got to do everything today because tomorrow is not here. But when you get older, I mean, because people always say, you live your life like it's the last day. No, you live your life like tomorrow coming. You got to live your life like tomorrow is coming. And a lot of these kids don't. A lot of these young people who get in these situations because these feelings are so intense. Because at one point, I'm assuming Asia was in love with this little boy, right?
Yeah.
And he was in love with her. But his definition of love is not. His definition of love is not necessarily the recognized definition of love. Let me say it like that. Because to love somebody, you have to be able to. You can't. Love is like sand. The tighter you squeeze your fingers, the more you lose it. You can't squeeze and manipulate and beat somebody into loving you. You can beat somebody into being scared of you. You can beat somebody into staying, but you can't beat somebody into loving you. And at the end of the day, I even think that the people who commit the violence, all they want is love. They just don't know how to go about getting it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just feel, and I blame myself, because when I was married, she's seen a lot. me and my ex-husband arguing, him putting holes in the walls, and like he would grab me and throw me on the bed, and we fighting. And I blame myself for. I stayed in my marriage for the wrong reasons. I stayed for Junior, and I should have left. And I blame myself what Asia is accepting from him. And because when I used to get bruises, I'm walking around with a long sleeve shirt in the summer to cover up the marks on my arms. And so I blame myself a lot, what Asia has been going through. So I don't know.
You might be a factor because parents are a factor in how our kids, we are a factor in how our kids do everything. But blame is not necessary because it doesn't help. You accepted what you accepted because of Junior. I stayed in a situation because I was in a place where I didn't know anybody, and it was just me and my son. And I stayed longer than I should have. There was nothing physical, but there was a lot of mental. And people don't realize how hard that particular situation is. Because with physical, hit and it's done. Till the next time. With somebody who emotionally and spiritually abuses you, it's constant. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every second of every minute of every day. You can't hit somebody 24 hours a day, but you can make somebody so. I was so to the point where, like, I'm sitting on a computer now. You can hear the elevator ding because we lived in a high rise. Every time that elevator would ding, I would jump. Because I didn't know whether she was coming home. I didn't know who the hell was coming through the door when it was her. And even the good moments, see, that's the thing. People don't realize, even if you have any good moments, they're all overshadowed by the bad moments. But people always look, and it wasn't until I was in a situation like that that I could understand how it is not easy to leave. It is not easy to get yourself out of that situation. You have to have something that is more important than yourself. And that was Nick. It got to the point where you brought my kid into it. I was fine. You call me whatever you want to call me. I'm grown. You can call me anything you want to. Because it doesn't matter. It's just your words. And I'd probably said some worse shit. But when you brought my kid into it, who wasn't even, he was 8, maybe. A kid for real. No, I'm good. We'll figure it out. And I figured it out. But I had to have that catalyst. If it had been me, I don't know if I'd have left as quickly. If it had just been me in that area by myself with nobody, I might have stuck it out longer. You got to have a catalyst or something. Now, Asia's out of it, but the law has no help for her. The problem is until something happens drastically, the law will continue to tell you can take out the restraining orders, but a restraining order is just a piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
I think that's the horrible part about certain laws, because they wait for something to happen, and when they wait for that to happen, that could be the last thing. Yeah.
Yes, the last thing.
You're gonna wait on somebody to have to endure something. You're gonna wait on somebody to act out on a promise or a threat.
Yeah. The last time the police officer came, and he said that this law isn't great. He was like, y'all gonna have to defend yourselves. So my friend Tamitha that was here, she said, so okay. So if I take Vicky to Walmart and get a gun, he said, do what you gotta do.
They'll tell you.
Yeah, he was like, do what you gotta do.
The law is set up for stalking. It's really not set up for stalking. It's really not set up for anything other than physical, actual abuse. It's really not set up for anything other than that. Cops will tell you single women need a gun in their house. Somebody I was in Alabama. Somebody broke into the house and he was like, you need to get you a gun. It's nothing but single women here. They will tell you to defend yourself, and you can defend yourself. But the killing part about that is, even if Asia defended herself, even if she took this boy's life, then she has to live
with that.
So it is a catch-22. It is a hard rock. It's a hard place in a rock. That's all it is. Because, and there's nothing that can make him do that except for him. There's no
Did you clean up your room?
There's no amount of restraining orders. There's no amount of court cases. There's no amount of days in jail that can make him change or stop what he's doing except for him. And he doesn't see what he's doing is wrong. What he sees, the person's supposed to be me, fuck everybody else. That's what he sees. I don't know who taught him how to love somebody. I don't know who taught any of them. If you can't be in a relationship with somebody, leave. Don't be with them. Just be free.
Go.
Be free.
This is, I'm just saying.
I couldn't think of it. Just be free. My views with my father, he went over to my kid. When he went over to my kids, that was it. Right. That's the thing. I mean, a lot of times, like you say, Vicky, you feel like it's your fault, but the reality is we grow up with this. How many people in this chat, and when you see this played back, how many people in the comment stream have suffered at the hands of somebody else, either a parent or a relative or a friend or a boyfriend, and you suffered in silence because number one, you didn't think anybody would believe you. Number two, the law can't help you. And number three, you assigned a lot of the blame to yourself. When in reality, you cannot control anyone's actions but your own. And it's hard when you love somebody. Because realistically, even if somebody not putting their hands on you, we make allowances and we make excuses for people we love every day. Every minute of every day. You love somebody, you make an excuse. You make allowances. If they cheat on you, maybe I wasn't giving them enough. If they mad at you, what did I do to make them mad? But that's not, we're under no control. We can't control their feelings. You can only control yours. At some point, A's going to talk to somebody, Vicky. She's going to have to.
She is. We go together.
All the way out. She's got to tell him what he did.
Well, when we started, and I know that she does, because the counselor's like, oh, do you mind your mom being here? And she was like, no, it's okay. But I left.
Right.
Because I know she doesn't want to say, I want my mom to leave. So I got up and I walked out and left her talking. I did it twice. So we go once a week. She goes and I go.
Yeah. So, go separately or together?
Huh? We go together, but separately. We go talk to the counselor separately. I was happy that I finally convinced her to go.
We think we can do it on our own. We think we can handle the situation. We think that we got ourselves into the situation and get ourselves out of the situation. But in reality, that's not true. You got into a relationship. You didn't get into a situation. The situation came when the representative that he presented to you at the beginning of the relationship turned into what he is now. Abusers don't start off abusive. They don't start off as monsters. They start off as angels. They start off as loving and caring and pulling out chairs and flowers and movies and dates and holding hands and gentle kisses. That's how they start. And then by the time they punch you in your eye, you will go, what can I do different not to get punched again? By the next time when you got bruises on your arms, what can I do different? How can I make you happy? When there's nothing that you can do, nothing in this world that you can do to make them happy because they're not happy with themselves. You're not the reason they're doing that. And a lot of people have been abused previously.
All right, we're gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna show y'all a 4-minute clip of a video. I'm not used to working from this side.
What? I'm sorry, tell me what to click.
Fast if I just do it.
No, it ain't. I ain't used to work from this side, but it's just fast if I do it.
It is. All right, so we're gonna hit share screen, and then we're gonna click this window here, and this window is where the video is, and we're gonna share it. And then we're going to press play. Make sure the sound is up. I don't hear nothing.
Is it up? Can y'all hear me?
No. I can hear the video.
Hold up.
You can't hear the video?
No.
Okay.
Hold up. Let me put the settings. Internal, where's the speaker at right here? Hello?
That's Yeti mic. Oh, put it back on the speaker.
Okay.
It done. All right, we're just trying to figure it out.
No, you said her name.
Oh, sorry, man. I said he done. No, he done. We don't advocate violence here.
I was like, wait. Why is not playing? It played earlier.
Yeah, just show it. I'll tell them what's going on. All right, if you watch the video, I don't know what happened. As you watch the video, the volume is not up, but what happens is there's a young man walking around holding a baby, and he's videotaping. There's a young girl walking around with a gun. Now, when you see the girl, she points the gun at the guy, and
he's holding the baby.
Yeah, he's holding the baby in his arms, and all she's talking about is, "You gonna stop talking to me to these bitches, and why you talking to these bitches to me, and da 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 da. And I ain't scared to go to jail. I ain't scared to go to jail. I'll shoot you." And he's laughing, talking about, "I ain't scared of no gun." Hey, baby. Hey, Knots World.
Wow.
No, Tanya Jones, your abuse has. See the baby? There she goes. All right, so he's holding the baby. Then she started throwing stuff at him. She's mad that he's talking to other females. And she's talking about, I ain't scared to go to jail. I go to jail. And this is a perfect example of people too damn young to be having babies and talk about making families. Because you sitting up here got 2 kids. The little baby is his. The walking baby, the little baby in a red t-shirt right there. That one ain't his.
Yeah.
That was not his.
And he asked the little boy,
Are you scared of your mommy? Yes. She walking around with this gun, talking about
in front of that baby.
Yep.
Wow.
Now that baby's not his. So you got 2 little babies still in pull-up by 2 different people. And you worried about what the hell he doing? And you got a gun on him? While he's holding your baby? And both of them are saying, either one of them is saying is, I ain't scared to go to jail. I ain't scared of no gun. I ain't scared to do time. I ain't scared to get shot. How the hell do you know?
And then she goes outside with him.
She walking outside with the gun. When she ain't pointing the gun at him, she throwing shit at him. And all she can say is, why you keep talking about me to these bitches?
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Not this. Why? That's it. And it boggles my mind.
Wow.
Hey, Tammy. It boggles. This year, I'll see.
Look at her.
His son. And then when they go back inside, he go in the house, close the door. There's another door on the other side. She comes
going around.
And she start throwing shit at him. Still got the baby in his arms. The other baby still walking around in a t-shirt and a pull-up. She's hitting him. People think this is a joke. People think this is a game. What if she'd pulled that trigger? And 2 things could have happened. Her baby gone, the boy dead, and she in jail for the rest of her life. And you still got a baby down over here that ain't gonna have nobody. Long time ago, there was a Lifetime movie. Very long time ago. This would tell to give you to understand how bad the police are not just cuckolded. A lot of them are, but a lot of them just don't think that it's that serious. It was in the 80s, and I forget her name, but it was a Lifetime movie. And he started off in a relationship.
Farrah Fawcett.
No, not the burning bed.
Not the burning.
No, he said his asshole fuck.
I love that movie.
I had enough. Lorena Bobbitt, she had enough. Dick went flying out the window. That is just the extreme of these situations when a woman has had enough. And the reality is, if a woman kills a man in the domestic violence situation, she is more likely to do time than if the situation was reversed. You have women in jail on life sentences for killing their abuser. You have men that don't go to jail for killing the girl.
I think it's a lady. It's a lady in Florida that's been in prison, in prison for a couple years just for firing a warning shot.
Oh, I remember that.
They let her out.
She got let her out. Because remember that was Stand Your Ground right after Trayvon Martin.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, she was in jail for a minute.
Yeah. And she was like, she didn't even shoot at him. She fired the gun. She didn't shoot at him. She fired the gun so he'd leave her alone. And she went to jail for discharging a firearm in the presence of minors and something else. They just made some charges up and shit. Added, concocted some shit to put her in jail. But the reality is women spend exponentially more time in jail for domestic violence than men do. And 9 times out of 10, the woman is in jail for killing her abuser, not for killing somebody she abused. That's the it hurts to no end to see that as women, as a whole, as just women, we are overlooked and undervalued. But when it comes to a relationship with another person, normally a man, normally in heterosexual relationships, don't get it twisted. Gay life is the same way. Men be men, women be women. So, but in those relationships, they look at what she did to make him mad. Why was he doing this? Why didn't you tell nobody? Why didn't you come to the police? When I came to the police, you told me wasn't nothing I could do. So when I thought I was going to die, I shot his ass. But see, here's the problem. Women use that as a reason to kill their husbands that ain't did nothing to them. And that's what messes it up. People don't think that what you do, and it shouldn't, but what you do individually affects us as a whole. You can't tell me you mad that I was living in Alabama. I forget her name, but she killed her husband. He was asleep on the couch, and she shot him 4 or 5 times in the back because he used to make her dress like a stripper.
What?
I mean, they were very churchy, religious. I mean, religious to the point of everything was religious. She couldn't work, stayed home with the kids, Sunday school, but he was a little freaky. So he wanted her to dress like a porn star, stripper, big heels and naked. She didn't want to do that. She felt like that was abuse because she didn't want to dress like that. And she felt that, so she killed him. And she got out. She couldn't give any instances of actual physical abuse. She couldn't even give instances of emotional or mental abuse. But she said that was mental abuse. I didn't want to dress like a stripper. You can be naked to be a stripper. But now, I mean, it's these coins that we flip and we take a chance on a person. And sometimes that chance don't work out. It's so bad. It's stupid. It's stupid on a woman. They do it to my friend. Yeah. She's not. No, she's not. In that situation, when you're the aggressor in a domestic violence situation, you don't think about the ramifications or the repercussions of what you're doing. You got kids, so your child sees you getting hurting somebody or fighting with daddy, or your child sees, like you said, Vicky, your child sees the bruises, you sees the violence, and they associate that with love. So that's what they take with them into their relationships. And either they go the way of the abuser or the way of the abused. And they'll seek out people like their parents. The first person that shapes your view of relationships is your parents.
So true.
That's why when I came out, I did not want them to think anything was wrong with me being in love with a woman. So I didn't do anything, but I held hands and I kissed. And I did what you're supposed to do when you love somebody, so that he will understand that a relationship is between two people who love each other. And you got to know that it's not bad. You don't have to hide it. And he didn't see a lot of the violence, but he heard it when I was in that other situation. He didn't see it because as I don't know what I would have done in a situation where somebody had to actually physically put their hands on me. The mental stuff is a little more subtle. You don't know that you're scared of everything until you're jumping at everything. You think you all hard and you can handle anything, you do whatever you want to do until somebody slam a door and you damn near have a heart attack.
I not think when domestic violence does happen within families, it actually reaches across the extended, the immediate family, all of that. Fortunately for me, I didn't grow up in a household of domestic violence. My mom had a situation prior to me being born that I was made aware of, but when I was born, I didn't have it. But I did have an uncle and aunt who always had something going on. And I just can recall in my childhood, my cousin picking up the phone, crying. You could hear him bawling, calling us for help because they got all this commotion going on in the background. And you can hear all this ruckus in the background. And he just crying, calling my grandparents, calling my mom, calling for help. And I remember being scared, and I wasn't even in that household. I just remember hearing it through the telephone, and I was scared.
Annie.
Wow.
It does. It affects us all. It affects everybody.
Let me hold up. Back to Jayden. So, how did y'all handle it, knowing that he was going through this?
The good thing is I'm from a small town, and my grandparents actually lived a few houses down. And when he would call in a panic like this, then we would tell him to run to their house. So he could actually leave and run to my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Still, he would get so upset about what he was seeing and about all of this to where he would have asthma attacks. Like legitimately, like imagine being on the phone with an 8 or 9-year-old boy, and me and him grew up the same age, and just crying because all of this stuff is going on with his mom and his daddy. He trying to stop his daddy from doing stuff to his mama, but he don't want to get hurt either. And getting an asthma attack in the process because you just bawling. But we would always tell him to go to my grandparents, and then of course my grandpa would go down there and check the situation because it was actually my grandfather's son who was engaging in whatever was going on in that household.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. It's and now he's going to associate love and violence. My daddy's supposed to love my mama. Is this love? Do you have to put your hands on somebody? If I don't like the way they cook the dinner, if I don't like the perfume she got on, if I think the dress she got on is too sexy, I don't want her to go out and people see her. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
kind of tough. That's tough.
When you kids, you want. I don't understand. I don't want Nick to see nothing bad. I had to stop. Start. Oh, hold on, Vic. How you? There it is.
She's talking to you.
Oh, I can't unmute it over. Shit. Oh, she muted herself. Okay.
Sorry,
Oh, that's all right.
Junior.
I can't. I know I don't want Nick to see Nick hurt. Since he started playing football, I had to stop looking at him so closely because he got all these bruises from playing football. I just can't imagine somebody hurting him that he ain't doing to himself, like football or something like that. I can't imagine that as a parent. You want to keep your kids away from everything that's hard and violent and scary and painful, but you bombard them with images of you putting your hands on the other parent. And it's not always women. Let's make it clear. Just because men might be physically stronger than a woman, you have a lot of men who will not put their hands on a woman. And women take advantage of that sometimes. Slapping them upside their head, hitting them with shit, throwing stuff at them because they didn't like, because they saw something in their phone, because they went to their phone and who is this number? What is this girl? Where's this picture? Why was you here? You just ruin yourself doing that. I don't know. I mean, they used to, and the killer, y'all understand that in America, domestic violence used to be legal. There are laws on the book right now saying that a man can hit his woman with his stick, but it can't be any bigger than his thumb. It's fine, just as long as it ain't bigger than your thumb. But understand that these laws are centered toward men, not toward women. Now, a woman could not beat him with a stick no bigger than her thumb. If she did that, that's called assault. Him, on the other hand, it's okay. And we can give all the advice we want to, but the reality is we can't make somebody stop loving somebody.
Right.
And if that first punch didn't make you stop loving them, I don't know what else will.
But you gotta realize some people in relationships, they feel like when they involved in somebody that's hitting them, that same person might feel like they can't get somebody else, so they stick with that person.
That's what I say. You can't. But that person makes them feel like ain't nobody else gonna want you.
Right.
I'm the one who want you. I'm the only one to put up with you. Look at you. Look at you. You're fat. What's wrong with you? Why you look like that? Don't put that on.
But the crazy part, Asia is a pretty little girl. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because nobody would believe that. Asia would accept that because she is. Because she's young, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's got a good job, she take care of herself. You would not assume that somebody like that would accept that. But the
the reason, okay, let me get this. Asia, when she moved out, me and her weren't on good terms. So we started, and then my mutual friend, you know Frank still, that I used to work with at Youth for Tomorrow. Right. He was messaging me. He was like, Vicky, because he's seen on Facebook how he was trying to control her. He was like, Vicky, I know you're mad at her, but just come back in her life. When I came back in Asia's life, he was upset. He was so upset that I came back into her life. Then he started quitting his jobs and depending on her. Yeah.
That's one of the first things they do is separate them from their family and friends.
And that's what he was trying to do.
You can't control somebody if they have a strong family base. You can't control somebody with a strong family friend base because they're gonna tell their homegirl. You know, your homegirl gonna see the bruises and be like, "Who hit you?"
So I didn't say anything to her. I just gave her a copy of my key. So when she was stressed out, I used to come home from work and she was there. I didn't ask any questions. When she was stressed out for him, I come home, she was at my house.
Thanks, but that is good that you gave her a key so she have an outlet.
Well, eventually she left, but it's him now, the stalking issue. It's to that she's gone. And now it transforms from being domestic violence to just being obsession.
Right. And he's using the system to abuse her. He's using the court system.
Because he's doing just enough
Mm-hmm.
to stay out of jail.
Yep.
Just enough. Just
and for her, you know, you have to appear in court here. I'm like, why does she have to be here? So that's his way of seeing her.
He has
every victim services said that's how they abuse their victims, have control by using the court system.
Well, every accused has the right to
he appealed it. I ain't never heard no shit like that in my life, that you allowed to appeal the order of protection. Why the fuck would you want to appeal it? Just keep it away. Just stay away. Why appeal it? That part I didn't understand.
Because he don't want to stay away. He don't want to stay away. He doesn't want to. He knows. Let me tell you something about people who's like that. They're smarter than you think. And they find ways to do stuff that you think about. Because no matter how smart you are, most people don't want to stalk nobody, and most people don't want to sit out in the bushes and take pictures in front of somebody's house or call somebody job. But most people don't want to do that.
My daughter works in the OBGYN clinic. He's sitting in the lobby. Why are you there? And the big boss, he's a big male. He had to come out and tell him to leave.
They get in public places. They make sure they're just far enough away so that they don't break the protection order. Or they can say, oh, I didn't know I was that close, and they leave. But their point is already made because they were there. Doesn't matter how long he stays there. She knows now that he can be there. So now she's scared of her job. He sends pictures of the outside of where she stays at, so that she knows that I can see where you are all the time. So she's scared to go outside.
Control.
And that's normally what it's about. That's normally all it's about. My dad tried to get my uncle to convince me. Yeah, my dad and my mama would fight, and she would push me to the point he would. So, Chase would shit. The Hampton would run. Would take 50, and my sis still with him. The thing is that you can't make anybody do anything. Even with Asia, it wasn't going to be until she had enough, until she realized that this is not a healthy relationship. Nothing he said was going to change that. Nothing he did was going to change it. Because if the first time he put his hands on her, the first time he did something bad to her, didn't stop it, then what she did, it's sort of like when somebody cheat on you and you forgive them and take them back. They be like, well, she gave me one time, so let me try it again. The same way. Once he first did, the first thing he did, and she didn't leave or she didn't say nothing, that gave him, in his mind, I ain't say it's rational, I ain't gonna say it's right, but in his mind, he had permission to continue what he was doing. Because she ain't say nothing. It must not have been that bad. She ain't going nowhere, she's still with me. So let me see what else I can do. And that's just the reality of it. You can't change anybody. And you can't make anybody want what you want. Especially not your kids. Because that's their job, to see how far they can push their parents, not realizing that sometimes that push is more harmful to them than it is to us. I did try to appeal. I mean, the thing about it is, the appeals process on anything is so. What if Asia was lying? You see what I'm saying? And I know she's not, but that's what the appeals process are for. What if Asia was lying and trying to get this boy in trouble? So that's why you have the process in place. That being said, 99.9% of the time, if somebody went all the way to get a protection order, that's a lot. Because you got to tell your business in open court. You got to say why. Most people ain't going to do that just to get nobody else in trouble. But the reality is, keep your damn hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Stop. If somebody don't want you for what you are, Leave. Find somebody else.
I think it's interesting what she was saying, that I guess the state that y'all are in forces people to appear in court, because in my opinion, that defeats the purpose of the order. What's the point of having an order?
Thank you.
To keep somebody from seeing me and stalking me and doing all these things to me, if I'm forced to appear in front of this person for them to be in the vicinity of me, then what's the point of my order? My order only stands outside of this courtroom. Like, I think there should be a better process when it comes to cases like this.
There should be.
Yes, there should be.
In court, you should not have. But since protection orders are not considered civil, they're considered criminal.
Right. So why was he? I don't get it. And like she said, maybe it's our state.
There is a no. It's not. It's everywhere. There is a. It's not a statute, but there is a clause. When you're accused of a crime, it is your right to address your accuser. It's just like your right to remain silent. It's just like the rights you read. It's just like certain things they can't do. It's one of the rights. Let's say not stalking. Let's say somebody came in and robbed your house. You saw who it was. You said who it was. You showed everything. Went to court. He has the right to address his accuser because you could have been lying. Because that's one of the things they do. They do that so that when somebody is convicted of a crime, prosecutors and judges do not like to have their decisions overturned. They do not like for people to come back in the appeals process. That's why they have certain statutes and certain laws in place for the criminals, which 9 times out of 10 is worse on the victims. A lot of times cases don't go to court because the accuser will not face the accused, and they can't do that because that case can be overturned in the appeals process. That's just dumbass back up to the law, because there's so much in the law that is just a dot of an I. If you filled out that form incorrectly for that protection order, it wouldn't be valid. If that form was filled out incorrectly, if there was some incorrect information on there, if there was a lie on there, that form is not valid, even if he is everything you said he was. So that's the bad part about it. The laws, the rights are not set up for the victims. They're set up for the criminals. They're just not. So she right here.
Oh, my meds are kicking in.
Go ahead.
Don't laugh at me.
We're gonna see you.
You stuck long enough. I was like, it's been an hour.
Yeah,
we just wanted to make sure it was supposed to be a guest.
Yeah. I made wrong decisions. And I feel really at fault at Lisa. Because she did see a lot. And like you said, by her seeing me and Craig, maybe she thought that's what love was, And
she thought if my mama could handle it, I could handle it. But the reality is that we can't blame ourselves for the actions of others. And as much as you may want to, Vicky, that is not the reason this happened to Asia. That is not the reason that she took what she did. You are not the reason. So don't feel like you are. Do what you're doing and being there and being a safe place for her to come to, and giving her the support she needs. But you can't have the feelings of inadequacy or that you caused it, because she'll feel that. And that's why she's not telling you stuff. Because she already thinks that you feel like you did this to her, So she's not going to tell you anything bad. So don't feel like that. As much as we don't want to admit it, our children's decisions are not ours. We built the base, we built the foundation that they build their house on, which is their life. But you can have the most sturdy foundation, but if the walls she put up are made out of cardboard, it's not going to withstand the rain. So you just got to be there when them walls fall down so that she knows she has somewhere to go. Asia's an adult. She's a young adult, but she's an adult. And she's going to do one of the most painful things that has ever happened, that can ever happen to anyone. But she's still standing, she's still fighting, and that's all you got to do. Can't be sad. You can be mad, but sadness makes you feel weak and makes you feel like you're lacking, which you're not. You've done everything you could, and you're still doing it. And she's still standing.
Yeah.
So you go pass out.
I am.
With your medication.
You gonna be passed the hell out.
Yes, I had to go run and get my charger, y'all. Sorry. My
okay. It was hi. Have a good day.
All right, love you, and we'll talk to you later.
Love you too. All right, y'all.
All right. Bye. All right. Hello. All right, Leilani, they literally made me, they will make you. And I don't know why they haven't changed that with domestic violence situations and violence against people. I don't know why they haven't changed that particular rule.
Mm-hmm.
Because a rape victim has to sit across from the person that did that to her.
Mm-hmm.
A domestic violence person has to sit across from the person that did that. The family of people who have died in these situations have to sit across from the person that took their loved one away.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. I guess the judicial system, being as huge as it is, it has no heart. And I think we have to look at it like that. It doesn't have a heart. It's all brain. It's all brain. It's no heart to it. It doesn't understand, well, maybe we should have some kind of rule in place where if it's a violent situation between two people, that the person who the crime is committed upon does not have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They just use the same old law. And most of these laws are as old as this country.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that were happening back in the day when you, like I said, you could abuse your spouse legally. When people were chattel, when women were chattel, when you were the property of your husband. You were I'm no longer who I am. I'm Mrs. DC. And that's how my grandmother referred to herself. She didn't say her name. She said my grandfather's name. I am Mrs. So-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
His name. She didn't say her name. That's how women used to refer to themselves. It's like once you did that and you got into that situation, you are no longer who you were. Now you belong to this person. And I have to do whatever I can to make sure that my house is taken care of, my bills are paid, and my children are taken care of. And that means I have to endure this violence. That's what they did. Because a lot of times there was no recourse. And as time progressed, there became more avenues for people to go, and it became frowned upon to beat your wife. They still did it. It became frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
And then domestic violence became a thing. Stalking became a thing. Stalkers spend thousands of hours, like people going to work, following somebody to their job, sitting outside their house, sitting outside their mama house, on the computer, Googling, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, 13 different profiles. You friends with all of them, not knowing you friends with that one crazy motherfucker that popped you in your eye. It's just, it has become so, and then media, and then the internet and technology is advanced so much, you don't even have to be near somebody. Like I'm talking to you now. Somebody can remotely turn this camera on our computer and be watching what we're doing if they're so inclined.
Okay.
Technology has made it so much easier to be stalked and to be victimized and to be abused from a distance. And take a lot of shit. Think about how many times everybody, like I said, everybody in the chat, everybody in the comments later, think about how many times you said, well, maybe I did something. Maybe it was my fault. Let me change my hair. Maybe I should put more makeup on. He wants to do this, let me do that. She wants to do this, let me do that. Even if it's something that you don't feel comfortable doing. How many times have you compromised yourself in the name of love? We have got to stop making love more important than our happiness, our personal happiness. If the love and happiness are not the same thing, find out where it is. Don't stay with somebody because you love them. You can love 1,000 things. I love bacon, but I probably shouldn't eat a lot of it. Y'all know how I feel about bacon.
She would eat bacon.
Pigs are cute, but I sure kill one for some good old smoked bacon. But how many times have you made allowances? I have. I could sit up here and lie to you and say I'm this, and the third, but that's not true. Bitches have came to my house, have called my phone. And I still talk to this nigga. Even after all that. Babies was popping up that I ain't had then. You see the one I had, I was 37. We have all made allowances because we say we love somebody. I have, like I said, and I no shame in my game. I have missed family functions because I wouldn't get out of my house, because I wouldn't turn the lights on in my house. I have not eaten. The only thing I've done for 2 weeks was drink water because I didn't want anything. People thought I was on crack. We've all made allowances and diminished ourselves because we love somebody else. And I don't think there's a magic wand or no spell that can change that. But I think that one at a time, we just have to start realizing that love is not enough. There's got to be more. There's got to be respect. There's got to be affection. There's got to be, I would cut off my ear before I would hurt this person. If you're in a relationship with somebody and the appearances are more important, should you stay there? I mean, just should you? If you're with somebody and they're always talking about how fat you are, how skinny you are, how dark you are, how light you are, or how ugly your hair is, or how they don't like your clothes, do they really like you? Why are you there? Why didn't you leave after the first time they hit you? If you don't have any kids. Now, I understand with kids, you move different. Because there's a whole life that's dependent upon you. I understand with the kids. But even with the kids, is this what you want your son or daughter to grow up to see? Is this the man you want your son to be? Is this the man you want your son to date? I mean, your daughter to date. Or your son just did. If you're dating somebody that you don't want your kids to date, why are you dating them?
Especially when you bring kids in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's not the actual parent.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why do you have 5 kids by this one man who will not even promise to be your man, let alone your husband? Why are you taking care of 6 kids from some girl that got 6 baby daddies and she barely do anything but have you babysitting? Domestic violence is just not about putting your hands on somebody. It's about those day-to-day things that knock little pieces of brick off you until you are just small. And you feel small. And you act small so that they can be big. You got to stop looking at domestic violence as putting your hands on somebody. Sometimes they don't even touch you. But you feel like a freight train has hit your heart and your soul and your spirit. Can you imagine all the broken spirits out here? Women that can't even hold their head up. Men that don't know how to be in a relationship without a woman screaming at him or him giving out money because that's the only way she'll want it. We have to deal with violence from outside. And in our community, the LGBT community, we have to deal with so much violence from the outside. I can't imagine why we still doing that shit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Hug and kiss your spouse. I mean, because it is what it is. But you have people that, I was living in Texas. 2 young girls were just in the park at night holding hands, not kissing, not having sex, just sitting or talking and holding hands. And guys came up and beat them to death. Outside, domestic violence. A young girl, she was gay. She had a little girlfriend. Her father, it was a film stud situation.
Mm-hmm.
Father stud said, well, I'm going to fix that. So he raped his daughter, raped her girlfriend, killed them both, and threw them in a trash can. Does that sound like love? If you're listening to me and you're in a situation, you're not alone. A lot of people in domestic violence situations feel like they're alone, that their family won't help them, that their friends won't help them, that the only person that loves them is the person that's abusing them. You are not alone. Reach out to a stranger. There are a lot of us out here who have been through what you've been through. Talk to your friends. When they leave, you leave. Don't be too proud to sack your kids up and go to a shelter. Don't be too proud to call your mom or your dad and say, I need help. Please. Do not be too proud to say, help me. And maybe if we can get one person out of that situation, then maybe they can get one person out of that situation. And then it won't be something that is so prevalent. It'll be something that is rare. Because I don't know the statistics. I just didn't read up on it. But I know the violence and the emotional and the physical and spiritual. And I know that, hey, Ellis, I know that is more prevalent than it is rare. So we can start one at a time. We ain't got to save everybody. If each of us save one person, if each of us give one person somebody to talk to, if each of us give one person somewhere to go, can you imagine how many people that would be? Can you imagine the lives we would save? Can you imagine the kids that won't be sitting up there in closets? Kids go hide in closets with their hands over their ears. Older kids put their earbuds in and turn it up to where their ears are bleeding so they won't hear their mom and daddy fighting. Or they won't hear their mom screaming and throwing stuff. And then a lot of times the violence leaks into the kids. A lot of these kids become bullies at school because of what they deal with at home. They have no control at home, so they control at school. And then that's a whole nother another cycle of violence we have to deal with. There's no answer. There's no easy answer. I don't even think there's an answer. I don't know what the answer would be, because each individual person has a different take on love and how much they love and who they love. It's very specific. There's no right or wrong. There's no blanket love. Jay Dunn loves different than we do, loves different than Tammy, loves different than like Lonnie, loves different than Ellis. Everybody in this chat loves different. I mean, completely different.
I think what's interesting with this discussion, which is weird because I'm just taking in everything that the lady was saying who was on here initially, and then just y'all. Because I honestly feel like I may have been in domestic violence relationships in the past, but not know that I was in them.
A lot of people
because I feel like the emotional or the mental part of it is so underrated to where you could be in a situation like that and dismiss it as just being, oh, they mad today, or oh, you know, she got an attitude about this, or you know, oh, she just not in a good mood. But because most of the time we don't speak about emotional and mental abuse and things like that, I guess when I thought of domestic violence for the longest time, I really did think of people fighting in a house.
Well, I mean, it is, but think about it. Just think back to think back to a relationship where everything you did was wrong. In the beginning, everything was right. Y'all was fabulous. It was woohoo! It was butterflies and unicorns and roses. But not long after that, everything you did was wrong. How you dressed was wrong. How you spoke was wrong. How you spent your money. The people you talked to. I don't like your friends. Why are you wearing that? Where did your money go? Why didn't you buy this for me? Think back to the relationships. And that is just as bad as physical. Because let me tell you something. And I know it sounds bad. It's just like when you beating your kid's ass. Your child would rather for you to beat their ass than for you to talk to them and hurt their feelings. Because once that ass whooping over and the pain is gone, that's done. But the words and the sentiment, that lingers. That stays with you. You carry that with you. Every time you look in the mirror, you see what that person just told you you were. Not who you really are, but you see who they make you be.
Mm-hmm.
You can put makeup on a bruise and a bruise be gone. You cannot, however, put anything on somebody messing with your mind. There's no makeup, spackle. There's nothing. There's not a spray. It is nothing that you can do that can change when somebody makes you feel differently about yourself than you did before you got with them. That makes you look in the mirror and wonder, what can I change to make me feel better to hurt?
Right. Wow.
So, Jay Dunn, what makes you think you was domestic? You had domestic violence going on?
Well, I'm just thinking back to many relationships and just the dynamics. Being in lesbian relationships, we are women, and sometimes women can be kind of lethal with their words to a certain degree.
Right.
And when you lethal to me with your words, then I turn around, I'm going to be lethal back at you to defend myself, and it ends up being a snowball, like a vicious cycle. And I'm like legitimately just thinking over several relationships over the course of my life, because you know, I've been out since I was 14, so I've had many lesbian relationships. And I'm just like, dang, was they all domestic? You know, because
I mean, well, not all of them, probably. I mean, as you got older, the thing about it is when you're young, and you're right, women are more emotional. It just is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, we can say what we want to. Men are emotional, but women are more emotional because we are taught to be emotional. Men are taught to hold their feelings close to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Even gay men are not always as fabulous, or not always like you assume that because they're gay, they're going to act like a woman. No, they're still a man.
Right.
And they're taught not to be outwardly emotional. They're taught to hold their feelings in. That's not a man. You ain't supposed to cry. You ain't supposed to show nobody. Women, however, are not.
Mm-hmm.
Cry. We're the softer sex. When in reality, oh baby, when we want you, we'll come get you.
Mm-hmm.
But But the thing about it is we don't come get the right people. The same woman who will take a whole ass whooping from a man will cuss a bitch out. But won't say them same words to him. Won't throw that same brick at him. Won't pick up that same frying pan at him.
You're right.
And we got to be, I mean, I don't know what I was watching. I was watching something and they were talking about how if a woman start a fight with a man ain't supposed to fight back. Because that's how they were taught. I'm on two schools with this shit. If you start none, don't be none. If it ain't gonna start, don't start nothing you can't finish.
Right.
If you can't whoop his ass, don't start nothing. Because don't assume that this man is gonna keep letting you punch him and punch him and punch him and he not knock your ass out. We want to holler at him for knocking her ass out when she just got through punching him for 15 minutes.
Right.
It's the same token with two women or two men or one woman and a man. Don't keep putting your hands on nobody and don't expect them to knock you the fuck out one time. But a lot of times in domestic violence, by the time he starts hitting you, the emotional stuff then got you to the point where you won't fight back because you think that you deserve what is going to happen to you. And I just say I'm talking about in any relationship. Straight. I'm just using he and she right now. But by the time they put their hands on you, they have beat your brain up so bad that you think you deserve this ass whooping. And you just sitting there taking it. And you just sitting there telling the kids it's going to be okay. And you just sitting there not talking to your mama or not talking to your daddy. And your girlfriend's over there calling you, trying to get you to hang out. Oh, I can't do that tonight. You know, we got to go. By the time they put their hands on you, you to the point where you think you deserve getting them hands. When in reality, nobody deserves that.
Right.
Nobody deserves an unprovoked attack. And that's what domestic violence is. Like I said, if you start something, don't get mad when somebody else finish it. There's always a bigger, badder ass out there. I talk a lot of shit, but if I don't think I can beat your ass, I will sit over there and be quiet. I ain't dumb. Shit. I'm old, but I ain't dumb. If I can't beat your ass, I'm not going to sit up there and talk no shit. Because that don't make no sense to me. Now, I can talk a whole lot of shit when your ass walk away. Go on, big bitch. You ain't going to hit me today, shit. But that being said, I don't. Because I'm laughing because I can't figure out a way to everything is not domestic violence, but when it is, it is. Every fight in a relationship is not domestic violence. You have two different people.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. You have two different people with two different everything coming together, and sometimes you clash. Every argument is not domestic violence. Every time you want to choke the shit out of somebody, it's not domestic violence. It is when you come home from work, you cook dinner, and they come in and they mad because you cook chicken instead of pork chops. And the next thing you know, you laying on the floor looking at the ceiling.
Or they threw the shit in the trash.
Right. Oh, right.
You at home, you'll stay at home, whatever. You done cleaned and washed and fold the clothes and then fold up the drawers. And then they come say, why did you fold my drawers this way? You should have folded them that way. Next thing you know, you in the bathroom trying to scrape your eyeball off your cheek. That's domestic violence. And at that point, I don't understand why we'll call the police on anything. You ain't gonna call the police because your eyeball fell off because they knocked it out. Your kids see that shit. Like I said, when my son started being affected by that, I had to go. And when I tell you I went. She went to work at 9. I was at that house by 1:30 in the afternoon. Everything was gone. Everything. I left it clean. I left it sparkly. I left it smelling good. But I left it empty as hell because I was gone. Because I can take a lot of shit. I'm grown. I've been on the earth a long time. But I'm not going to let my son do that. Because he ain't been here. And my only job at this time was to take care of him.
Right.
And I don't want you to have kids to want to take care of yourself. I want people to feel the same way about themselves as they do about their kids. That's why when you get in a situation and you get in a relationship with somebody, if you're in a relationship with somebody you wouldn't want your child to date, why are you dating them? Because your child takes after you. So if you date the town hoe, guess who your baby gonna date?
Town hoe, youngin.
If you date an abuser, guess who your baby gonna date or be? Make no mistake about it. They'll either be one or find one. Hey, squad. They'll either be one or they'll find one. A girl's father is the first person she looks to for dating. How this man is supposed to treat me is how her father treated her. And how her father treated her mother. A young man will date his mama. How his mom treated his father. How his mom acted as he got older. How his mom presented herself. You are the first line of defense for your kids. And you got to give them everything you can. And in doing so, you got to keep yourself healthy. You got to keep yourself healthy. I couldn't get it out. Yeah, it's a touchy subject, Faith.
Anybody else want to get on the stream before we go? Voice your opinion on this topic. Click on the link that's in the chat. Yeah. So that's like Jay Dunn said, like past relationships. I can say I was in a couple of them. And keep in mind they were film females, you know.
Me too. And that's the crazy part too, is like
you don't know until
girls, they be like they just be going ahead.
Crazy, y'all shit. I don't know what I mean. You look at girly girls and you think, oh no, just fluffy and no.
And that could be anybody.
They will cut your throat with their tongue in a heartbeat. They will do it because they can. That's why people do stuff, because they can. You do what you're allowed to do.
And I didn't mean to cut you out, DC, but I agreed. I agreed to where I couldn't suppress that. I agree with what you said, because it's just like, dang.
Yeah, you really think back of your history and the people you dealt with, and you really didn't realize you was actually in a domestic violence relationship. You mean, you know what I'm saying? You back then was just being you, or you might be the person that was doing all the damage, whatever the case is, and don't realize that you fit in that category, or you was the victim of this category. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you look back at your past, and now we sit here talking. I look back at my past because keep in mind I lived in DC, in the hood, in the city, and I deal with some. I mean, as I look back, it was crazy. You never know. And I always figured, once I realized it, because I always got my daughter out the situation, because I always said, don't do this around my child. I didn't want her to ever see nothing crazy or nothing.
Yes,
where people, I just didn't like that type of environment. And so when Nick came, we don't really argue or nothing, but Lisa like to talk loud, and so I gotta tell her, shh, you ain't gotta be so loud, baby. But it's like I don't like for children to hear that type of.
That's not their business.
I mean, I just don't like for them to be involved. I mean, it's actually where people actually fighting and stuff, doing that craziness. I feel like
they just don't care.
I feel like kids shouldn't be around that type of environment or seeing, you know what I'm saying?
When you get to the point where you're being physical with somebody, you don't feel.
And I agree with that. And not only that, but as far as kids seeing it, because then the kids, their judgment, their vision of the person becomes altered to a certain degree when you do see things like that. And I'm saying that simply because, like I said, my mother had a domestic situation prior to me being born. But once I knew about this person, once I knew who this person was, once I saw this person before, I felt some type of way to where I didn't want to speak to this person. I didn't acknowledge this person, you know. And I feel like if kids are seeing that within the household, or if it's being brought to them, the kid can judge one spouse over the other, so to speak. Right. Like you have a warped vision of the person because of everything that's going on.
I'm a firm believer in grown folks' business ain't got nothing to do with no kids. I'm a firm, and I don't care how old the kids are.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to tell. I was 37 when I got pregnant with Nick, and I was scared to tell Nick. My grandmama was pregnant.
Leilani said, my ex-husband couldn't understand why I didn't holler or scream or hit him, destroy property. He thought those were normal responses, and I was weird.
Leilani, I've had that before too. When I grew up, like, you didn't call people stupid, you didn't call people dumb, you didn't curse, you didn't do any of these things. And I remember, like, my first couple of relationships actually being in a relationship where I was called stupid or dumb, or where I was being cursed so much. Like,
I didn't do that to the person you with. I hate that. You don't do that to the person you with. That stuff is left for arguments out in the street.
Right, but because I didn't cuss and because I didn't insult or name call, I was looked at like I was weird. Like, I'm like, what she's saying. Like, I'm the weird one because I'm actually not gonna talk to you like you a bitch on the street.
What? That's the thing. That's like we were saying earlier. It's the environment you're brought up in, and it shapes how you deal in relationships. If all you hear is bitch, hoe, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, that's how you gonna come at somebody. If the only way somebody expresses love to you is by how much money they can spend on you or what they can buy you, that's what you're gonna expect from everybody. If when somebody gets mad at you in a relationship, they put their hands on you, that's what you're gonna expect from everybody. When they don't realize that the bad things are the things that are wrong. The bad things are what you're not supposed to do in a relationship. The bad things are what you're trying to get away from.
Mm-hmm.
If you get in a relationship with somebody and they don't hit you, they don't cuss at you, but they also don't buy you everything under the sun because you got a job, you think that's wrong. A lot of people don't want to date somebody who is a lame or a nerd, because they want a thug until a thug pop out. And lies the problem. I like a little roughness till the roughness pop out, and then you like, oh, I want a little hood rat till she pop up out of, and then you like, what the hell? All that is stuff you should grow out of. Don't get it twisted. I'm a little ratchet, a little Cardi, come on. I know the words to the song, a little Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? But that shit I do in my house. I don't do that to my wife. We have disagreements. She's right. But we don't fight. No, I'm not about to argue with nobody. Because I feel like that you can't change. This is just my personal opinion and only my personal opinion. You can't change somebody. If DC was not who I wanted when I met her, I should never have gotten into a relationship with her to change her to be what I want her to be. Because it's not who she is. You can't beat nobody into being the perfect spouse. You can't beat nobody into being the perfect partner. You can't belittle and destroy somebody's self. Because this is what you do. You get a perfectly good person. And then it's those little bitty moments I talk about that are so important, but they can also be so detrimental. It's not the big things. It's those little things. It's the little words that you don't think have much meaning, but they mean to the person that you say them to. It's the looks when they get dressed and they think they're pretty and you look at them like they're not. Or he puts on his suit and he thinks he's handsome and you tell him, why did you put that on? It doesn't look good on you. It's those little words, it's those little moments that beat somebody down until they're so small that the only thing they can do is look up to you and hope that you'll take care of them, even after you've made them what they are.
Leilani said, yes, people think something isn't crazy. Something isn't right because you don't do the crazy stuff other people do. I'm sorry, you're just not going to get it out of me. Ella said, we can be worse.
Yes. I know that. Women can be very violent. Yes. Classically, we are looked at as the weaker sex. We take shit. We don't dish it out, but that's not reality. While a man can be much more physical than a woman can, when a woman wants to get in your head and wants to make you a little and small person, she can make you a little and small person with a look, with one word. 9 times out of 10, if you see somebody car keyed up, a woman did that. You see some windows busted out, a woman did that. You see somebody clothes on fire in the front yard, a woman did that. Yeah, yeah. When women don't think that they can hurt you physically, or they'll hurt you materialistically and mentally. I take nothing away from women.
Great done. You had busted windows, you can tell.
No, I never have. Thank the Lord. I never have. Now I never have a woman do like how people be having a car keyed and busted windows or flat tires. I haven't had none of that.
Oh yeah, 9 times out of 10, you see some dude drive. You see a car, not dude. I ain't gonna say dude. You see somebody driving around in a car with bitch roll across the hood and key. Girl did that.
Mm-hmm.
You see some dude walking around and he got plastic bags on 3 of his windows. Girl did that. Ask Tiger Woods. That little blonde girl fucked his car and his back up with his own goddamn golf club. So we can be just as violent. Mm-hmm. We can be just as manipulative. We can be just as hurtful. I'm talking in generalities. So when I say he, you can pop a girl in there.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that people, as a general rule, can do some of the most. We can do some of the most horrific damage to each other. Yeah. And don't think that's a bad thing. We have to, if you haven't, we're going to start getting off here because we've been on here almost 2 hours. If you haven't talked to your homeboy, your homegirl in a while, check on them, especially if they're in a new relationship. If your friends stop talking to you all of a sudden, check on them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with it. Sometimes they're going through some stuff that they think that they're alone. If you see a friend or a relative that looks like something is going on, let them know they got someplace to go. Let them know they got somebody to talk to. Let them know they got somebody to call. Because a lot of times, like I said, I don't know the stats, but in most cases, a lot of people think that they are alone, that nobody will believe them, that nobody will have their back, that men don't say anything because they don't want to seem weak. Women don't say anything because they don't think anybody would care. Be there. Be there for your homegirl. You tired of hearing about that shit. Because you never know that one moment that you give them can save their life.
Right.
Let your homeboy vent about this girl or this dude. Let them talk. Let them know that, boy, look, you need a couch? Come lay down. You need an ear? Let's go get something to drink. Talk to your parents. Don't assume your parents going to get mad with you because you going through what you're going through. You are not alone. Even strangers will help you. You are not alone. Don't stay somewhere where you are in pain and unhappy because you love somebody. Love them from a distance, baby. Maybe they'll change. In my experience, people don't change. They are who they are. They just change how they act in different situations at different times. Bad people can do good things. Good people can do bad things. Don't try to change somebody. Don't hope that you can love somebody enough to keep them from whooping your ass. Love didn't stop them from doing it the first time, and love is not going to stop them. Don't think that those words that somebody is saying to you is your truth, is your reality. Your reality and your truth is whatever you make it. You are beautiful. You are worthy. Make no mistake about it. There is somebody that will help you. That's it.
All right, guys, we're going to shut this down because we got to go to a 50th birthday party tonight. I'm going to try to go live because I know I don't want to get copyright with no music, so I'm going to be live there. Hopefully we got reception.
Got to take the boy to Burlington. We going to Burlington. We'll take him because he got his first homecoming dance tonight. We'll see how that works out.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for coming out, Bomb Squad. You know I love you, Jay Dunn. Thank you for hitting on the panel.
Appreciate that.
Anytime, Jay Dunn.
You're welcome. We couldn't meet you, but it was busy as hell.
I know. And when y'all had went to bed, I'm sorry.
We actually think about coming back like maybe after the winter, like spring or so. Well, a lot of people in the ATL, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, because I did. I went to link up. So if y'all come back, let me know for sure.
We'll let you know up front so we can have that meeting set up when we get there.
Okay.
So
all right.
Ass to bed. Thank you, Bomb Squad, for hitting this chat. Thank you, all the new people. Thank you for my unicorns, Ellis. Thank you to all the new Bomb Squad, the new family members. We are not people, we are a family. Anytime, hit us up in the comments down below. If you got anything you want to talk about, hit us up in the messages or our email. If you have a topic you want for real talk, if you want to keep talking about this, or if you just want to talk.
Or you can send it to our
P.O. Box. Everything is in our description down below. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already hit that like button for me, go ahead and hit that. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that every time we go live or drop a video, you guys can join us and enjoy, or, you might learn something. You never know. Or I might learn something. Hit me up in the comments. And that's another thing. Hit me up in the comments down below, whatever you want to talk about, or if you want to keep talking about this subject. So like, comment, share this video, because maybe if you share it, the right person will see it. So like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is your girl, Lisa.
And DC Kool-Aid.
And then Jay Dunn.
Yeah. DC Kool-Aid and Lisa doing challenge on her part. Yeah, you know what's happening when you tune in. Story times, tanks, and blogging, man. Be a great big family, be the Bomb Squad. We on that grind to a number with a K. Best believe you'll stay. You can chill with the fam like most of y'all do. DC Kool-Aid, Lisa, and Nick too. With Charles and Barbie living that YouTube life. We love our fans and supporters. We a family, dude. So come on down to Bomb Squad Town. Have a seat watching videos. And nobody likes to hate. Keep it positive and have a nice day. Oh, I forgot. Smash that like button.